What's up, guys? This is Darth Kane from Epic Action here with Raul, and we have a special guest, Jeff Glazer from Porg Depot. What's up, guys? We're coming to use a special video. This is going to just be a Galactic tickets grinding video, pretty much. Just going to break down all the stuff they did on it, and we're going to go from there. But to start us off, Jeff, why don't you give us a little bit of an intro about Porg Depot for those that may not have heard of you guys?
Yeah, so we just have a content site, porgdepot.com. We don't do videos, at least not yet. We just do articles. Some of them are completely just humorous, like our Between Two Sabers, which are fictitious interviews with fake porgs. What we also try to have are useful tools, hypergeometric calculators, to help with deck construction. And in this case, we wrote an article recently with the actual math behind ticket grinding for the Galactic Championship.
You also have the price tracker, which has been really helpful.
Of course. And probably our most popular thing is
That's what I use,
weekly
sure.
price trackers that we use. We do once a week, we do the legendaries, and once a week we do the showcases, which often help also, not just for those who are collectors, but also potentially are responsive or predictive of the meta. When you see cards going up in value, you can guess people want them for their decks.
Yeah. Well, I will probably be using some of the tools for like the hypergeometric calculator. think I'm hitting the refresh button on some of my decks. So let's see. All right. So just start off. Do the side events really matter? And kind of grinding versus the experience. Galactic Championships are supposed to be an all-around experience for SWU. Grinding seems to kind of go against experiencing it, but in my mind, part of the prize wall is also part of the experience of leaving there with something. So let's start there. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a mixed bag. Obviously, when you go to these big events, obviously you can find people to just play games all day long without having to be in a specific event. But then there's no prizes, but there's also no cost. So I think some people are going to definitely, like you said, grind, which is part of the experience. You're still going to play lots of fun games, hopefully, get a lot of tickets, and then be able to get stuff off the prize wall. So I think it'll be worth it. And I think that is going to be part of the experience. Just don't get so caught up in grinding that you don't enjoy what you're doing while you're sitting there trying to play games.
Are there any
I think that's.
Are there any side events that you're like specifically looking forward to?
Me, so I'll probably end up doing, just the premier pods, both because, admittedly, I'm looking forward to the grinding, and they seem to be one of the best payouts in terms of cost per minute, cost per dollar, in terms of the tickets you're going to get. I was thinking about, depending on how I'm doing, the double draft, it's or double sealed. Sorry, it's like 12 packs instead of 6. My only concern with that is it's such a long event. You're really tying up. You're not grinding at that point. You are committing to a specific event.
I was looking forward to that one, and so I'm curious at where that kind of breaks down and overall if whether we can even like start it on demand super sealed, if they'll even let us do that.
Yeah, I think that's going to be one of the big questions is how on demand are these events? I know the Super Sealed I think has set times, but if they'll also add on demand if it's popular, that'll be fun. I haven't yet played Twin Suns, and I keep planning on building and bringing decks. And I don't know if I want to do an event then because I've never done it, where there's tickets on the line and people are more interested in making sure it goes a certain way, versus just finding some people who also brought their Twin Sun decks after sort of the end of the evening events are done and just be like, hey, who wants to try it?
So funny thing happened to me at the Richmond sector. I was playing Twin Suns event, and Ruben and I tied for first place. We had in our game, like we had the exact same amount of like hit points at the end of it. At the end of the round. So what ended up happening is they made us split the tickets. So we each got 200 instead of getting 400. So I don't know if they're still going to do that. We try to make our case that we were both winners, but it was just a pool. They're just handing it out. So that was interesting.
Yeah, 'cause I like to also play sometimes like the off meta decks, and I'm worried with the grinders that if you go to the premier pods, maybe half of them will just be playing their fun decks. But if a bunch of people are still playing their most competitive decks because they want those tickets, you're not going to have as much fun as you might if you bring some of those leaders that you don't play as much, as often. I'm planning on trying to bring at least one, if not two, Porg centered go figure decks,
Yeah.
which will probably not be good, but I want to see some Porg on Porg violence. And so hopefully I'll have two, and if anyone wants to borrow one and play against me, but I don't want to see that happening in a grindy event.
Nice.
So, what about like events like, I don't know, some of the trilogy tournament or the designer duels? Are you looking forward to any of those?
So I think trilogy sounds like a great format. I'm a little worried that they're not using the same suspended list. I think that will worry me. So again, love to try it as a format. The designer duels also. I did Gen Con last year, and they didn't have it as a set thing, but the designers were just hanging out around the table. So I got to play a couple games with designers for no reason. It wasn't like an event. You're just like, oh, Tyler, you're free. Want to play a game? Sure. And just got to play a couple games with the designers. We even did a draft on the very last day with the designers because they didn't want to come back with all the boxes.
Nice.
So they just brought out a box and said, "We're drafting. Who wants to join us?"
So look forward to that, guys. If people have boxes at the end. All right. So we're grinding the events. That's what our decision is. I know you and I have talked about it. And then your two other friends at Port Depot are going to be there. So we need to find 4 more other people. That's the cue to you guys out there. If you're coming to Galactics, we need 4 people who are going to be free day 2, likely, to just grind these events out on our own on the on-demand pod. So let's kind of go through the breakdown and tickets for you and why you have it this way and how you came to the different numbers.
Yeah. So basically, uh, one of the big things also about grinding, regardless, I think of whether you got the regular ticket or the VIP ticket, it's already included some money toward these side events. So I think with like the VIP ticket, you got $100 towards side events, and with the regular ticket, you got $50. So Premier Pod's $10. So at minimum, you're probably grinding at least 5 with the regular, or 10 potential just events that way if you're going for complete grinding with the Premier Pods. And yeah, if they're on demand and you got 8 people, that's great. They expect them to last 9 minutes or 90 minutes, sorry. And when we look at the numbers, we did the maximum tickets, which is, if you come out first place and win all the 3 rounds versus last. So we had the minimum, the maximum. You're going to get at least 200 just for entering a premier pod. And if you are the top player in your pod, you win all 3 rounds and go 3-0, you get the 1,000. To come up with the average, we literally just added all the numbers of tickets for everybody that would be involved, divided by the number of players in the pod. So on average, everybody gets 450. I don't want to say that people have discussed online, quote, for lack of a better phrase, colluding, where they just split the tickets. But in essence, the average is what you would get.
That's never been done.
Also, if you
FFP gets
just
their
split
money.
right. So if you had a group of 8 people and you all agree in advance to split the tickets, the average is what you're going to get per person, because that's just the grand total of tickets divided by the number of people in the pod. So again, we would not suggest that, but if you're curious how that would work out, the average column is that same number. Or you can just think of the average as, hey, if I do a bunch of these, sometimes I'll be 3-0, sometimes I'll be 0-3. I can expect that if I do a whole bunch of them, I will probably average roughly 450 tickets, for example, per Premier Pod. And so that's how we came up with all the numbers. The Win-A-Box was just a little bit odd based on the way the website was. In almost all the other events, they would say everybody gets this, and then there would be a plus sign, literally
Plus wins. Yeah.
in front of who finishes first. This one didn't say a plus sign; it just said 300 for each entrant, 2,400 for the winner. It didn't say plus 2,400, so we weren't actually sure whether they're getting the 300 plus 24 to make it 27, or just whoever gets first is 2,400. If it's a plus, the average will actually up itself to 600. But that weird number's coming out of the fact that we did it with the presumption number one just gets straight 2,400 and everybody else gets 300.
So I have it pulled up right now. What it says in the like description area, it says each participant will be given 300 at the end of their first match. So that sounds
Okay.
like all 8 people are going to get 300, and then
Gotcha. And then
whoever
there's an
else
additional.
wins gets 2,400. Which is kind of a little frustrating, like when you look at Premier Pod, where hey, even if you lose or you win a match, you're getting something. If you're doing the win a box without having, a group of people, it seems like you're running the risk of just leaving there with 300 tickets.
Welcome,
Yeah.
Paul.
Definitely with the win a box, either it's either you're splitting the tickets and you're all going to leave with 600.
I mean,
Or
you
you're
could like
playing
change the winner
competitively.
each time.
Yeah, or you're playing competitively and you are really truly think you're going to be the one who wins. And so if you are truly playing competitively and you think you have the good deck and you just happen to get knocked out on day one, or maybe you actually already have a buy on day one, so because you are really good and you've already won a PQ, then win a box might be the way to go to just completely maximize tickets without a doubt. Like, because if you can win the 3-0, just walk away with 24 or 2,700 tickets, nothing's going to come close to that. That's why we actually also have on our site a graph of how it compares to your expected win percentage, and you'll see that the winner box is like low, 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 and then all of a sudden at the end it shoots way up.
Shoots
So
way up, yeah.
so
I
if you,
didn't include those 2 graphics, but guys, go check out the article. We'll include
yeah,
the link in the description.
win a box is best if so if you're used to winning at your weeklies or you did really well in a PQ, because I think at this event there's going to be 2,500 people. There's going to be people at all different levels of competitiveness. When we went to Richmond, there was definitely some people who were extremely competitive, and not just competitive like mean competitive. Competitive, had really good decks, had played a lot, and then there was other people you could tell were you know this
Yeah.
sounded like a fun event to do, and I haven't really tried this deck out that much.
Right.
And so I imagine that's going to be the same thing here. We're going to have people who are coming for the fun of it and don't care whether they win or lose. And if they happen to be in your win-a-box pod, awesome for
That would
you.
be nice. Yeah.
Right. So I think that's going to really depend on how competitive that is. Again, also if you're with friends, even if you're not like colluding, but you have a group of say 3 of you out of the 8, there's a good chance one of you then could be the winner. So then at least each of you walk away with
Right.
8 or 900 tickets once you split it 3 ways, as long as one of you manages to be the winner of the pod. So
Okay.
you don't have to be the whole 8 to potentially still maximize.
So we could take all 4 of ours and just play the odds.
Right.
And
Then you're still. I mean, all of it's
we went out. All right. So I know everybody loves like draft. It's a pretty low payout from what it seems like here. I'm a little like I know they put 150 for the time. I'm a little surprised that 3 1-round limited games are gonna go 150, even if you take 40 of that and play just the draft part of it. Thoughts there that might skew maybe the ticket.
They're just being generous with the
overall.
probably deck building time. Bad guess.
Yeah, I mean, and is it? Did they say in the draft? Is it best? It's best of 1, right?
That's a 1, yeah. And
Yeah.
I think the max tickets is 900. It's 3 rounds.
Gotcha. And it's not 2. And it's not 200 per. Did they change? I mean, they might have.
Yeah, I got it as up as 300 right now. Maybe,
Okay.
Hold on, let me check.
Yeah.
I'll double check though.
I mean, they may
you're
have
right.
updated
It is 200. It
Okay.
is still
It's like
200.
unless they updated it or changed it. So yeah, it's 200.
Not a great payoff then.
No, not in terms of time or tickets per person. One of the things you're going to see with the drafts and the sealed pods, though, that isn't getting figured in is what you were going to use your tickets for. If you were going to use your tickets to get packs, right? Because none of this values the fact that when you do the draft, you're also getting cards. You're getting cards that you're not getting in the other
Right.
ones, the premieres and the things. So part of the value comes in the fact that you are opening Legends of the Force. So if you wanted Legends of the Force packs anyway, and you wanted those cards anyway, then there's additional value that's not being represented in that average ticket or anything. But if you were grinding for the other prizes, you weren't planning to use your tickets to actually get a box of cards. You were grinding for the Luke Invader Showcase. You were grinding for Playmatch. You're grinding for deck cubes. Then yes, they have a very low return on investment from that perspective. And we figured when we were doing the thing, we just would let people figure that out. That if you want cards, then then the drafts and the seals are obviously more bang for your buck that way because you're getting those cards as well. But from a strictly ticket grinding perspective, they are not your best way to spend your time.
All right,
but also
well,
let's
let's
drafted sealed.
let's break it down to the final like recommendations here for grinding your events. So if you're that casual average player, what's your best bang for your buck?
So if you're the average casual player and you're definitely, you know, Twin Suns, oddly, and no, not Twin Suns, sorry, the Super Sealed. The Super Sealed has one of the highest lines for no matter where you are on your win rate percentage. So if you're a bad player, you're probably going to end up with more tickets there than anywhere else. Is the Super Sealed? Now that's not necessarily by dollar, but
But you also get 12
overall,
packs.
but you also get 12 packs. So yeah, so literally per dollar, not your best, but from all along, sort of, if you're sort of anywhere from average to medium or the best player in the group, you're going to get sort of your best ticket per win rate, so to speak, in the super sealed over the course of whatever percentage you're looking at. Obviously, win a box, we already talked about, shoots way up, but you're not the average player then if you're going to winning the box.
Right.
Overall, best one for just sheer value is your Premier Pods. They're best in value overall, all across the board. For ticket grinding, they're also good for timing. They're one of the shorter events. They're more likely to be what's the phrase where they just shoot them off. So
On
you
demand.
find 7 other, yeah, boom, on demand. So you're going to be able to just get those in. They're only $10 to enter, and even at the low end, you're probably getting at least 200 tickets, which or even probably closer to the average at 450 is nice because I think they've assigned a value of about $5 per 100 tickets. So if you pay $10, you really just need to get about 200 tickets to break even. So if you can average closer to that 450, you're practically doubling the value of what you invested for the tickets you're getting. So I'll be.
All right,
Oh,
so
we
now
didn't
let's
play, which is
let's say you're the competitive player that just has a bad run of luck on day one. Now you're sitting on day two. Where are you recommending going?
if you really are competitive and you're, like I said, not colluding, win a box. I mean, that's going to be your biggest payout.
Nice. And I think you got the super sealed as well. Here's
And super sealed.
still going to be a high payoff. Okay.
Yeah. Win a box, super sealed. Definitely sort of your best payouts competitively and price wise.
And if you just want to, go experience Vegas, come in, win some tickets, go around, see what all of Galactics has, what would you do if you're short on time?
Twin Suns. It's it's a pretty fast game. It still has some good ticket return, and it's also just fun. You're playing with 3 other people, so you don't need to find as many people to play with, and that way you can get in the game, get out of the game, get your tickets, and go see what Vegas has to offer.
Sweet. All right. One of the big problems that we've seen start up at regionals and kind of continue, prize wall price versus ticket flows. Have they learned their lesson? Are things still too expensive? I know we're still kind of waiting details on that, but based on, I guess, Vader and what we imagine each of the mats are going to be at least 1,000, if not more. What do we think, given the vast amount of prizing available?
I mean, I don't know if anyone else has. Right, we haven't seen all of the prize wall pricing. It seems like they, like I said, are assessing 100 tickets to be about $5. because they were doing packs for 100 tickets at MSRP. They're supposed to be about $5. The promo cards that they were doing in Richmond were 200 tickets, so they were basically signing a value of about $10 for a special promo card, which seemed reasonable to me. And even the showcases, Luke and Vader, they've said we're going to be, what they say, 5,000 tickets, which
Yeah.
essentially imparts a value of $250, which for current showcase rates for two that have not ever been
Pretty good,
previously
yeah.
available, $250 seems like I mean, I'm going to be curious how Luke and Vader are going to actually shape out on the market, in that sense that all the people who would want to buy them are probably going to be at Galactics and just get them. So I don't know how many people will be buying them. But I mean, the rarity, generally speaking, should put them at the high end of showcases, which right now are between $250 to $300. So that seems like a pretty reasonable price point for those. Richmond, the other one that was interesting was the Twin Suns playmat was way under.
Oh, yeah.
It was like 600 tickets, and you're like,
Yeah.
so they're like, that's only like
Little
$30.
regretting.
They're like
Little
$70.
We just talked about that last night. How it was like the first thing I picked up there.
I was
Yeah.
like, dang, I wish I had not spent $70 on it and
Yeah.
just got it at Richmond.
And then, and also at Richmond, they had two different like levels of playmats, if I recall. So some were like 1,000 tickets or something like that, which would again impart a value of about like $50. But some were 700 tickets, which would impart a value of $35, which if it's a nice enough playmat, isn't so overpriced.
Yeah, I think what they did was they had like some mats that are available for retail that you can pick up with tickets. Those are the cheaper ones, and then the
Right.
special event ones were the more expensive ones. So they'll probably do the
Yeah.
same thing there if I had to guess.
So if they keep with that theory, I think the price wall will be hopefully good. My biggest upsetness with Richmond was participating in the big event was the worst way to get tickets.
Sure.
That like the reason
Yeah.
you win, for all of us who ended up 5-3 and staying till the end,
It's us. All of us here, I think.
and right, it's all of us, and we all had good reason to stay till the end, and there was no tickets for match wins. I'm like, if I had known, I wish I would have just gone 0-3,
Right.
dropped and grind.
So they've kind of mitigated that a little bit, at least at Galactics, where they've said, all right, if you get X amount of points, even if you don't make day 2, you're going to get those silver packs.
So,
And I imagine they're giving you tickets on the front end around the same that they
Yeah.
probably gave us, in Richmond.
right, they gave us three. They
Still
gave us
to be
300 tickets
known.
on the front end, and then that was it.
Yeah.
Because I both did not make it to day 2, either tournament wise or even just in general. I had to work. That was all I got. That was the whole day. I spent the whole day there. I got 300 tickets. I was able to get 1 pack and 1 promo card, and I was done.
Big.
Yeah, that's the concern I have is, all right, you're gonna play in the main event, you're gonna get like 300. I would hope they give us like 1,000, to be honest, because there's just so many prizes. I mean, there's so many different things people want. That's my concern right now, is that even grinding, you're gonna walk away with far less than what you kind of want, and probably far less than what you pay into grinding the tickets, which is like I don't think any of these cards are gonna hold significant resale value. I think most of the people, like you said, who want them are gonna be there. The mats, to me, don't hold that like $50 value. I mean, okay, cool, it's a nice image, but I'm a little concerned with the quality, actually, versus some of the other products they've put out, and they put it out at $30. The Game Genic mats are all, $30 overall, and to me, they're kind of better quality than what they were handing out for the 1,000 ticket mats.
Yeah.
I especially would be upset if I paid 2,000 tickets like they originally had them priced. So.
Yeah.
I mean, what are your guys' thoughts on some of the pricing? Like, is this something you would be interested in if you went? Like, if it's like, I know I like the promo cards, but I'm not getting them to like resell them either.
If it were me, hi everybody,
Hey, Paul.
I'm here.
What's up, Paul?
Honestly, like, I would play in the main event, of course, if I could go. But the Luke showcase is like I don't care about the Vader showcase, but I'd want that Luke showcase, and I would grind out the 5,000 tickets. If I could just hand them $250 and be like, "Hey, me the Luke showcase," I would do that. I would be like, let's save everybody time. Here's 250. I just want the showcase.
Mhm.
So I do inherently think that at that price point, there will be resale value because I would be willing to pay TCG player 250 for a Luke showcase.
Okay.
That might be a me thing. I played a lot of Luke from set 1 through, right? So
Yeah, I think I can see the Luke and the Vader showcases. What about like the mats? I know early on, like we had the discussion where I was like very skeptical of like why do I want all these different mats, and everybody's like, well, you resell them and this and that, and I'm like, do you? Like,
I like play mats. I have literally a trunk full of play mats.
Yeah.
Like I think I have outside of set 5, I have every single play mat that has been released by GameGenic except for the green speeder bike. It didn't appeal to me.
Fair.
So I own every single one of them. I have a couple from sectors, a participant mat. Obviously, no championship mats, or I'd probably be going
the
to Vegas.
giant participant.
But even the Twin Suns mat, I have. I have the original 2-player mat with the Galaxy and the play zones on it.
Right.
So I think 1,000 is pretty steep. It's more than what I paid for them in person, and some of them are personalized and cool, but they're not the GameGenic mats. Like you said, they're not that
Yeah.
quality.
No, your mic died. Oh, nope, can't hear you. Well,
yeah, it's definitely not, like, I think we get that. So,
Yeah.
what about some of the other prizes? I mean, all the different cards, different like silver packs
So
versus the regular promos.
If I were going, which sadly I'm not, the things that are in the silver packs and those black, whatever the black packs are like what's most exciting to me. Like I really want like that Ahsoka that's in there. So if you happen to pull an extra one, think of your boy here. And I think we were talking to Heaver yesterday about the Super Laser Blast. Like some of those cards that like are alt arts like that are going to be used until rotation would be cool grabs for me. That's what I would be going after, not so much the mats and stuff.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm very much the opposite of Paul. I'm like, I don't need that many mats.
Mhm.
I have one that I really like to play with a lot, which is it's Yoda in a library smoking a cigar and drinking a bourbon. That's like my playmat. That's what I play on. I have a Porg Depot playmat. I'm like, okay, I only need one at a time. So how many do I need to carry around? So for me, I'm like, maybe one other really cool art. Maybe I would try to get it. So I think that's sort of the question about grinding that Nick was asking earlier, which is are you missing out on the experience of grinding the tickets too? Like, are the prizes the things you want anyway? So, tons of playmats, sure, whatever. I'm a little concerned with the Luke and the Vader showcase because by the time we finally get them, there's only so much time before they rotate out. So, are they going to And also, I'm like,
we're not even like playing them. We're not even playing them right now.
And we're not playing them now, right? We're not playing the regular. I have yet to have a Luke or Vader deck. So I think, and so the question, like, if you're grinding to get the prize just to sell it, then it feels like a job. Like I'm trying to make money by getting stuff I can put on a market. Seems silly. I'd rather get stuff I would use. And so some of the promo cards is probably where I'm most excited. I know they had because again, I only got one at Richmond. So I got one red 3 promo and I'm like, I have 3 in the deck. I wish I could make them all match, so I'm probably going to get at least 2 more of those. And, assuming they have the same promos available, actually, they might have missed them already. I don't know. So, if there's cards that are promos, I have to look at them again, that I would use. I would be, far more excited to use my tickets on those, so that I feel, because I don't want to just turn around and try to recoup. For me, I've spent the money on the event. unless I thought of
any collecting value there. I mean, like, I know I want the Super Laser Blast, but I also kind of want the Kylo and the Ray. Like, I don't ever see myself really using Kylo and Ray, but just the artwork there is super nice. Like, I love those like diptychs that they're doing now with the prestiges, the different just triptychs, all the different like art pieces that go together. Those, like, to me, are awesome. But at the same time, I'm probably not going to use some of them. And then, yeah. So, what about collecting wise?
for me, the cards, like you, are where I find the collectible fun stuff too. I agree. The Kylo and the Rey look awesome together. I don't value the collecting of the mats or like a T-shirt that says Star Wars Unlimited on it, or the pins.
Definitely
Also,
not.
I'd like to get a collection of the pins, but you can also get those from the developers.
Yeah,
So
just
I'm
talk to
hoping
someone
to
there.
Yeah.
So I
talk
did
to
at
the developers and sneak out some pins.
Adepticon. I just literally asked one of them, and they gave me the whole set.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the last little bit is just really, what does it end up? What are the costs on all this stuff? Are they what we've already seen? Is it less? I do like some of the mats a little bit better. I'm not gonna lie. I want the father, son, and the daughter mat, and possibly the Rey Kylo mat. Those both look awesome. If I have enough tickets just to waste on it, I'm definitely thinking about getting Paul Bendu mat. Just
Oh,
I
God.
The
cannot
Bendu
pull
Master.
anything other than Bendu's.
Bendu Master.
Yeah, I mean, at least, like, I think the art pieces they're choosing are far more interesting. I like the design of the cards for Galactics. I can't imagine they want to take any of the stuff back because there's no way they can resell it or
Right.
get rid of them. Like, because it's all marked with Galactic Championship. I mean, other than the Luke and the Vader stuff, like everything else is marked Galactic Championship. So, what happens to all that stuff that doesn't get sold?
They give it to employees, or maybe use it at the next year's event for like a discount. Just kind of
Well,
stuff.
they already said, yeah. I mean, I guess
Gen
so.
Con's like 10 days later.
Yeah, but do you bring all your Galactic Championship stuff to Gen Con and be like, "Oh, hey, you couldn't come to Galactic Championship. Here's all this stuff here." Boom, 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 boom. Like, how many people are you gonna piss off doing that?
True.
Yeah, I'm sure people would be not happy to find a bunch of Galactic Championship stuff at Gen Con.
Yeah, like especially if they were just handing it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true. You can't just give it away.
All right, so final questions here. Is there a balance between the grind and the experience? What do you think?
I think so. Like I said, whatever ticket you got already came with, certain, you're going to grind those no matter what, right? Like you're going to spend the money that came with your ticket. So, like I said, I had the VIP ticket, so that's $100 of grindiness. So that's like 10 Premier Pods if I'm going full on over the
You
days.
enjoy your breakfast.
Yeah, thank you. It's going to be a fun breakfast. And so, so if I get my average, that puts me at 400 or 4,500 tickets. So I would be just shy of enough for a Luke or Vader showcase, assuming I do the average with just what I've already paid for. But
Yeah.
I think I don't want to put necessarily a lot more money into grinding. I think that already sounds like a lot for me. So depending how I split it up, maybe the 12, the super sealed, that sounds fun. And then I think I'll just try to find people who just want to pick up games on the side. I don't need to keep giving more money and just enjoy the fun of it. I plan to bring a bunch of decks, and like I said, I'm going to pull out a Finn deck at some point. And I'm going to pull out Lot Board, Grand Inquisitor, because otherwise I don't get those opportunities, to play those decks live. I mean, I can always put them online, but it's not the same.
I think that's
honestly,
Go ahead, Paul.
I think that a lot of it would be better for just experience, not for ticket grinding. Like, super sealed, just it sounds fun. Like, even doing that at a weekly, like, come on, guys, let's buy 12 packs and do a super sealed. Like, it seems like a great idea. It just sounds like a fun time.
Proposal, Tony.
Yeah, let's just put it out there for some random Saturday.
Yeah.
Wink. I want to play two guys.
Oh no, I don't
and
like.
to me, if I had the chance, that's what I would be out there doing every time. I don't care at the $50. Like, let's go play some super sealed all the time.
Yeah, well, like Jeff said, if you're just grinding to like sell back stuff, it's probably not worth it. So, like, enjoy your time there, meet some new people, network while you're at it, and have fun.
For sure.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at because I really want to try like the super sealed and maybe a couple of the other events that maybe aren't going to be overall best for just grinding, but have more enjoyment for me. Like I'd rather play draft than premiere if I'm gonna be out of the main event, But interested. We'll talk more about it when we get there, and we'll have figured it out. Any final thoughts, guys?
One final thought I had also that I hadn't
Yeah.
been in CCG or TCGs for a while. I used to play them a lot, and then I got out. Is that I miss still, and I just don't get enough of it. Is trading. Honestly, I'm also looking forward to just. I don't know why I enjoy the literal like, ooh, what do you have? What do I need? What do you want? That the online community like TCG sort of took away some of that because now anyone can just buy and sell cards, and I like having my binder and flipping through other people's stuff to find, ooh, I still need a couple of those. And with that many people there, I feel like people are going to have trade binders, and it's just a part of the experience. I think that we don't get as much of anymore.
Sure, it's a great point. Definitely get those trade binders ready and set up to go.
Definitely already have mine set up. Yeah, I'm looking forward to everything that goes on with the event. This is my first time doing any kind of like Worlds event. I never made it out to Adepticon for Legion. Never played in any kind of other event like this for a hobby game versus, like a sporting event. But so I'm excited for that. I'm going to try to get as many cards as I can because those are the things I probably value the most. But I do want to just like have fun at the different events. So that's kind of where I'm at. All right, sweet guys. Well, check out the Porg Depot article for a little bit more in depth and a couple of the other, graphs there if you are really interested in grinding it. For Epic Action, I'm Nick.
Raul?
I'm late.
Yes, from Porg Depot, I'm Jeff.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for joining us.